إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد عباد الله فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة. All praise due to Allah, and His praise and blessings and peace be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, his companions, and his followers until the day of judgment. I bear witness that Allah is the only one worthy of worship, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam his last and final messenger. As you might all know, that the theme that we have chosen for this year is about support and the importance of supporting one another. And in regard to this, my talk today about one of the form of support that we can give to one another on the level of a family members or a community members, in the city level, even all the way to the nation level. As Ali radiallahu anhu ardah ibn Abi Talib once said, there is no greater wealth than wisdom, and there is no greater poverty than ignorance, and there is no greater heritage than culture, and there is no greater support than consultation, which is shura or mashura or istishara, or consulting and advising one another. And this concept in Islam is so dear, is so important, is so valuable, that the person seek consultation, seek advice, and the person asks and see the feedback of people, to the extent that al-fuqaha, the Muslim jurists rahimahumullah, debated that when a person is about to make a decision or a major decision related to him or to others, is it only recommended for him or her to seek advice, or it's even must and obligatory upon the person to seek advice before making a major decisions? And there is a debate among some of the Muslim scholars about that. And that debate, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam in the Quran. As we know in Surah Ali Imran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَظًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ لَانفَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ فَاعْفُ عَنْهُمْ وَاسْتَغْفِرْ لَهُمْ وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, let me finish the verse. فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُتَوَكِّلِينَ. So by the mercy of Allah, O Muhammad, you are lenient with them. And if you had been rude in speech, harsh in heart, they would have disbanded from you. So burden them and ask forgiveness for them, consult them. So that's an order to the Prophet ﷺ to consult his companions, consult them in the matter. And when you have decided, then rely upon Allah. Indeed, Allah loves those who rely upon Him. Inna Allah yuhibbu al-mutawakkilin. It is so unique to know that these verses were revealed after the Battle of Uhud. What's so unique about that? That in Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, before the battle of Uhud, he consulted the companions. What should we do? Should we go outside Medina to fight them, those who are coming to attack us? Or should we stay in Medina and build a wall or take protection in Medina and we fight them basically from inside in Medina? And the advice was given by the youth, by the young among the companions of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was to go out and to fight. They said, we missed Badr and we want to make it up, so we want to go and meet them outside. And they mentioned other reasons as well. And the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam took their consultation. He took their advice. He followed their recommendation and what majority want. And guess what? That ended up not as they expected to be. And you'll know what happened in the battle of Uhud. It is because of that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, still, you should and you shall consult them in future matters. So nobody will think, oh, you know what, I consulted them and turned to be bad. So somebody said, oh, there is no need for it anymore. Did you see what the consultation, what people's feedback led to? To cut that off and to close that door, these verses came to tell the Prophet ﷺ to do that. قال العلماء رحمه الله said, إذا كان محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وما أوتي من كمال الحكمة والعلم والتأييد بالوحي أمر بالمشورة فما بالك بغيره. If Nabi صلى الله عليه وسلم was heard perfect, he's a perfect human being as we say, with all the knowledge that he has, with all the wisdom that he had, with all the support that he gets from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, still Allah ordered him to seek consultation and to seek advice and to consult his friends and his companions sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in surah, a whole surah called Surah Shura, and in this surah Allah praised the believers by several qualities, and among them he said, وَالَّذِينَ اسْتَجَابُوا لِرَبِّهِمْ وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَأَمْرُهُمْ شُورَى بَيْنَهُمْ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. And those who have responded to their Lord and established prayer and whose affair is determined by consultation. That's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described them, that their affairs determined by consultation among themselves, and from what we have provided them they spend. So Allah put that in the middle between performing salah and giving the zakat, giving the sadaqah, to show you the importance, the value of it. And what's also unique about this verse, that this verse was revealed in Mecca time, not in Medina time. In another word, it shows you that the concept of shura is not a political concept only. It's a concept should be exist inside the family, should be exist inside the community, should be exist in the first level in the society, goes all the way top to the highest level in the society. And Allah gave many examples like this. In Surah Al-Baqarah, when Allah spoke about if there is a differ and a dispute between the husband and wife about the breastfeeding and when to stop the breastfeeding, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَإِنْ أَرَادَ فِصَالًا يعني أن يفصل عن الإرضاع عن تراض منهما وتشاور فلا جناح عليهم. If they want stopping through mutual consent from both of them and consultation. And consultation. So they consult, is this the best thing for the child or not? The best thing for the baby or not? They should consult before they make the decision. And the same thing in Surah Al-Talaq. فَإِنْ أَرْضَعْنَ لَكُمْ فَآتُوهُنَّ أُجُورَهُنَّ وَأْتَمِرُوا بَيْنَكُمْ بِمَعْرُوفٍ وَإِنْ تَعَاسَرْتُمْ فَسَتُرْضِعُ لَهُ أُخْرَى. يعني وَأْتَمِرُوا بَيْنَكُمْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ يعني تشاوروا. So you ask and you consult and you talk to one another. Al-Quran even speak about consultation of people who are not Muslims, nations before us, like the queen of Sheba in Yemen, when she consulted her people. قالت أيها الملأ أفتوني في أمري ما كنت قاطعة أمرا حتى تشهدون. I will not make a decision on behalf of the country until you give me your consultation. When it comes to the issue of what she should do with Sulaiman, Prophet Solomon, when he sent her the letter. And Al-Hasan al-Basri said her opinion and her consultation was the best to her people when she decided to meet Sulaiman alayhi salam. And we know the story of Yusuf alayhi salam and the king of Egypt when he asked, what do you think of my dream? What do you think we should do? Even Fir'aun, the most known dictator, asked his own people. But I don't think when he asked them, he was really waiting for their, to follow their opinions. But the Quran stated that he even asked, how can I deal with Musa and Harun? And al-ulama rahimahullah said that Allah mentioned these stories about the people, the nations other than Muslims, to tell you that this concept is a universal concept. There is no success can be achieved unless a person taking this concept very serious. That's why Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam practiced this during his lifetime. In the early stage of his life, when he first received the wahi from the heavens, when Jibreel came with Iqra, what did he do? He went and he consulted his wife Khadija radiallahu anha. Then they went and they consulted someone else, which is Waraqah ibn Nawfal, who has knowledge from the books that revealed before the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he continued consulting Khadija radiallahu anha until she died. He consulted Abu Bakr in the incident of Al-Hijrah. He consulted sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his companion, in the battle of Badr in several times. Where the place that they should do, what they should do with the water, should they start the battle or not? Many times. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did the same thing in Uhud, did the same thing in the battle of Al-Khandaq, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Did the same thing when he wanted to make a deal with Ghatafan, one of the tribe during the battle of Al-Khandaq. And he asked Sa'ad and Sa'dain, the two Sa'ds in Medina who represented Ansar at that time, if they would agree or not. In Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, he consulted many times. And one of the people he consulted, his wife Salama radiallahu anha, what he should do to convince the companion to shave their heads and to abandon the ihram. He doesn't know how to handle it with them. He didn't make a decision, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So he asked the advice of Salama. When he said, should I send Umar to the people of Mecca? He consulted. Was he the best person? He was told, no, send Uthman. He's better representative to us in the people of Mecca. And I can go on and on. In so many incidents when the Prophet ﷺ did that, and the companions after him did that, and the wise men and women continued until today doing the same thing. My brothers and sisters, taking other people's advice, seeking their insight, asking them for their feedback, taking their consultation. It is so important that it's a responding to the order of Allah. So it's an act of worship actually. You get reward for it if you have the right intention. Number two, that it is a very fundamental concept in Islam, that the person always seek the truth, seek what is correct, want to do what is the right thing. And one of the way to find what is the right thing is to consult. That's why Al-Hasan radiallahu anhu said, ما شاور قوم قط إلا هدوا لأرشد أمورهم. Any people will ask and seek advice or consult others, Allah will guide them to the best of matters. Consultation and asking people for feedback and opinion bring the hearts together. That's why Qatada said, one of the reasons the Prophet ﷺ used to consult the companions. Sometimes he consult individuals, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and so forth. Khadija. Sometimes he consult the people of the Muhajirin by themselves. Sometimes Al-Ansar by themselves. Sometimes Al-Muhajirin and Al-Ansar together. If you notice in the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, that is not just one person, one group that he always consulted, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Consulted the young and the old and the women and men and the masses and the selective, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. One of the reasons Qatada said, it's make people love him, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, feel special. Also consulting, it ended up individualism. That that is only one man show. And unfortunately, this is something very damaging in the house, damaging in the community, damaging in the country, whenever it runs by just one, مَا أُرِيكُمْ إِلَّا مَا أَرَى. I only show you what I see, and everybody should follow. Consulting also end up, what we call it, just rushing decisions. That anything, you just make a decision on the spot. If you learn how to consult, you're not going to rush to make decision on the spot. You will wait, you will take your time. One of the benefits as well, consulting lead to organizing the efforts. We see that clearly in our community. When just people pump in their head to open a masjid, or to open a musalla, or to open a school, or to start a project, and it just pop in their heads without consulting other community members, what we happen? We have multiple efforts are exist in the community, they don't contribute to one another. As a matter of fact, they hurt one another. But if there is a level of consultation and asking and seeking advice, you will see the community grow stronger, not growing weaker. One of the benefits also, that when you start consulting people, you discover a lot of talents that exist in your community and your society. When you start asking your children, and I want to make this as general as I can. When you start asking your children, you might take a feedback, you will be surprised. When you ask people, maybe people come with ideas. That's why Ibn Abbas radiallahu anh, and he was a very young man, young comparing to all the people of Badr, teenager man, boy, young man. And Ibn Umar radiallahu anh used to consult him, and he said, Ya Ghawas ta'ala faghus. He's like a diver. He said he'd dive into the matter and go to the bottom of it. That's how he described him. When you consult your family, when you consult your community, when you consult your employees, when you consult your friends, when you consult your society, when you consult your citizen, what that makes them feel? Make them feel that they belong to this entity. They are part of that entity. And they feel that they, you know what, I'm part of the decision, part of this family, part of this community, part of this society, part of this country. But when you don't consult them, when you isolate them, when you don't care for them, they start splitting and going farther and farther away. If this is the case, I ask myself this question before coming to you today. Why people don't consult much today? And I'll tell you, this is a very serious matter, and unfortunately, it is not a common practice, even though it's a common knowledge. It's a common sense that consultation is important. But unfortunately, it's not something well practiced. Look at our teen boys and girls. Those young men and women who are listening to me now, ask yourself, how much do you consult? How much do you ask? How much that you seek advice? Everybody thinks that he or she knows everything. And they will not trust the advice that's given to them by their parents, by the elders, by people who have more experience in life. It builds the society kind of, or the time that we're living in, pushing us to be more individuals than being more part of a bigger picture than ourselves. One of the main reasons for people not to consult, arrogance. He feels that everybody else less than him. And remember, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُسْتَكْبِرِينَ. Allah hates arrogance. Also, one of the reasons people don't consult, because people want to have control. They don't want to share power. Why don't consult? Because people always think that other people don't know, don't understand. You know, he look at his wife and he look, how would she know that? She look at her son or daughter, or she will look at her husband, he doesn't know any better. So you always look down at people. You don't think of them, they're capable of giving you the right decision. Many young people think that because he's just in a different generation, it means he cannot advise me. He cannot make sense to me. You know, you didn't know anything about what we're going through. And that feeling, reject and build a wall inside your heart and mind, not to listen to people who might be able to benefit you a lot and save you a lot of time in your life and save you a lot of effort in your time. If people don't consult because they don't trust, as I said, the people around them. Sometimes people understand the whole concept, but what they are, they're lazy. Yeah, inshallah, I will ask later on. And days goes, months goes, and you know what? And now he has to make the decision. Some people don't ask and don't consult because they are fihum ajala. And I mean by that, they always like to rush to do things. They don't have patience. They just want to make the decision quickly and move on quickly. And that's why they don't have time to ask and to seek and to look to the matter and refer to others. Sometimes it is because of hawa, desires. You're really following your desires and you don't want anyone to give you other options. Sometimes I see this when young men come to ask me, or a woman, about marriages especially. They already made up their mind. They're already in love. They're already so deep into the matter. And if I say anything against what they want, what they see, what they seek, you know what? They will never take it from you. Why? They don't want to even listen to the advice. Because they're already following their desires. They're not willing to step back and to ask. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala criticized those who follow their desires. إِن يَتَّبِعُونَ إِلَّا الظَّنَّ وَمَا تَهْوَى الْأَنفُسِ. The disbelievers, the people who went astray, they follow their desires, not follow what is considered knowledge. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أن يوفقنا وإياكم لكل خير. الله أقول ما سمعتم وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده وبعد. These are some points I want to share in regard to the person who's seeking advice and the person who give the advice. The person who you seek consultation from and the person who give consultation. As for the person who is seeking it, make sure that you are sincere about your consultation. You asking for the right reasons. And sincerity is the key to achieve success in life. And sincerity appears in many different ways. And one of the ways to show you sincerity in your question, that you're asking because you sincerely want to practice, want to do. Not just because, you want to test the person, you just want to see how those people think, and you really never had the intention to seek their advice. Also, you don't go, and part of sincerity, some people go to certain people because they know what they will tell them. That's not a sincere person. I know what kind of consultation he's going to give me. That's why I choose him. Not because he's really going to give me the best one. No, but be giving me the one that I like, I love. And I'm not saying you always go to the people who oppose you, but go to the people who sincerely will give you the right advice. Also, when you go look for someone to seek advice from, make sure that you don't go to people who have the same kind of background, the same mentality. Diversity helps to give you a clarity and give you a much better picture of the issue that you are about to make a decision in relation to. That's why it is good to consult multiple people in major issues. Like for example, you're about to start a business. You might need to consult several people. You might need to consult the sheikh to see if it's halal or haram. But the sheikh cannot tell you if this is profitable or not. Then you consult a lawyer to tell you it's legal or not. Then you consult a business consultant to tell you how good this business is. So you might have multiple people to give you the right advice on what you want to do. That's why Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam will advise multiple people, multiple layers of people even in the society. One of the things when you seek advice from someone, make sure that you give them the whole picture. Don't give them partial, part of the picture and you want, because they customize basically their answer based on the information they get. Al-hukm ala shay far'un an tasawwuri. I only give you consultation according to what you told me. So make sure that you give a full picture to the person. And please, when you say full picture, it doesn't mean your whole life story. Some people come to ask you for advice, give you an introduction for half an hour. I don't need to know all these details. I need to know the details related to the issue itself, and that's one of the etiquette of the one who give advice. If you need clarification in certain area, ask about it. Also remember, consultation should happen before taking decisions. What's the point if you come to me, Shaykh Waleed, I marry this girl, and it's not working out? Hello, where are you before you marry her? Hello, where are you before you giving your daughter to this man? Why didn't you even ever ask? And that's happened, by the way, multiple times. And I asked, did you ever ask the Imām? Did you ever ask the person who knows those people? No. They give you the wedding card, the invitation. But what about before that? And that's something important if you want to ask a consultation before you make the decision. Ask for the person who give the advice. Make sure that this person have taqwa, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will not betray you. He will not expose you. A person who knows to keep the secret. A person have the proper knowledge of the subject that you're asking. A person of experience. You don't just ask someone who has less experience or similar experience to you. No, go to someone who have a lot of experience in life, especially if has experience in the area that you are seeking. Make sure that if someone asking you an advice to be trustworthy, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam qala mu'taman, you are trusted with this advice. So you give a sincere, correct answer. You don't just to make them feel good about themselves. But in the same time, you have to make it sounds good, acceptable. You can remember a couple came to me once and they asked me about something. And my advice was them to get divorced. But it's kind of hard to tell them, I can see where this is going. And I told them, you know what, it was my mistake that time. And I said, I think you should leave each other. Oh my God, I was cursed that day. I was like, attacked by them, accused, and it was very bad experience for me. Wallahi, not 8 months. 8 months or less, they got divorced. And I said, I'm just trying to save you time. That's all I was trying to do, and fight in the middle. Because I see where is this going. But my mistake was, and I learned from this, that I was very blunt about it. And and learn better next time. One other thing, when you seek advice from someone, make sure that you ask someone who have wisdom. Okay? Also, it's so important when you ask someone for advice, choose someone who lives your issue. Sometimes you go ask someone overseas about an issue here, they cannot relate to it. They don't live this issue. They don't know the importance of it. So that's also a very important point to seek. You can't, and sometimes it happens, you consult your mom or your dad who live overseas about an issue, they cannot relate to it here in America happening. So make sure you balance that. You keep that in mind when you seek the advice. Make sure that if you ever give advice to someone, to take your time. Not to rush. Wallahi, it's sometimes shame. You ask someone a question or ask some advice, he give you the advice before you finish your question. That's not proper. Take your time. Consult if you want. And by the way, one of the things that I want to say in regard to asking the specialist, it is so sad today that people advise and take consultation from people who have nothing to do with the subject. Like someone will say, oh, send me a message in WhatsApp. It's so good for your health to do this diet. Or it is so dangerous for your heart is to eat that type of food. Or to do this and to do that. And it's all a social media, WhatsApp messages or Facebook status. And that's where you take your knowledge from. If that's cheap, why these doctors that you have in the community spend all their money studying and all these years of learning? And just for you to go to some, the least I say an ignorant person to give you an advice about medical issues, political issues. Everybody give fatwa, everybody give consultation in PR and media and all this kind of stuff. You make sure in politics, make sure that you seek people who have experience in these areas. Let's revival that concept among our family, among our community. Let's make sure to understand that those we elect as representatives in our country play a major role in making Shura, giving the right consultation, the right decision. And consultation in certain areas are obligated to be followed. It's not just to entertain you with information. Like House of Representatives, like the city councilors, like the senators. And all these people who give these advices, if we've been asked to elect, let's elect the person who possesses these qualities, that we know he can give the right advice and make the right decision, that it will be good for us as society. I hope that this is something will encourage us to look at this subject in a bigger way and to make it more practiced in our society. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أن يغفر لنا وإياكم ذنوبنا وأن يستر وإيانا عيوبكم وعيوبنا وأن يصلح أحوالنا وأحوالكم وأحوال المسلمين. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم إنا نسألك العافية والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في الدين والدنيا والأهل والمال والولد. اللهم أخلف علينا بخير. اللهم قنا والمسلمين كل شر. اللهم أنزل علينا رحمتك وعافيتك. اللهم إنا نسألك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام أن تغفر لموتانا وأن تشفي مرضانا وأن تهدي ضالنا وأن تشفي مريضنا. اللهم إنا نسألك يا حي يا قيوم أن تقضي الدين عن مديننا وأن تيسر على معسرنا. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين في كل مكان. اللهم إنا نسألك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام يا أرحم الراحمين أن ترحم عبادك المستضعفين في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها وأن تعز عبادك الصالحين الموحدين في كل مكان. وصل اللهم وسلم على نبينا محمد وقوموا للصلاة.